Okay. Tu B'Shvat. Big Eisrotzen. I was once in a kollel. I would recommend. I came out with a big platter into this kollel. I was part of a certain kollel. And I came with a big platter. And I give it out to all the chevra. I walked around. I would recommend it. You'll have to come tomorrow. We'll give you a seat. We'll try to help you out. But that's what I did. And it's such an inyan to make lebedik. I went to the Rush Kollel. I was in a Dirshu Kollel for a couple of years. Tu B'Shvat. And Kol Shimshin. Tomorrow morning I'm probably going to pick up some fruits. If I could. If I can't, I can't. You know, if I could do it, it's great. If I can't, I can't. You know? You don't go with sugar. Yeah. Nay, it's ditched. So I'll be alone with the Eibishter and we'll work it out. Tu B'Shvat. Get the most out of it. But if I could, I've done this many times. I'd pick up a whole bunch of stuff and then walk around. Pratim. You break and you'll cheer up everybody. Tu B'Shvat, let's go, guys. You go into the base medrash, here's some of this, take, and I give them all out, and the Yilm eats, and they eat, and they freilach, have some more. It's gavaldik, it's good for you. It's healthy. The whole geschmack, Tu B'Shvat. Ah, beautiful. See them all, make a tish with fruits, Tu B'Shvat. I'll tell you one of my favorite betlach. Eibishter makes trees have fruits. Vegetables have, the ground has vegetables. They can get bitter too. More vegetables. But sweet, not too often. And fruits, almost always sweet. I wanted to check. Poke the esrig is not. Because we appreciate when it's bitter, we'll make it sweet. Punkt paket. A yid appreciates a challenge. Give me a challenge, bitter. Don't worry, we'll make it sweet. Moshe Rabbeinu, the Shira. They're all singing. The Shira. Shira's not a joke. They're singing and singing and singing. Meiredik in the Welt with a Shira. Oz Yasha every day. And it's a big schooler. Kaparas Havainis. Oz Yasha. What that could do for you. Ashira Lashem. The Al-Shech HaKadosh says that it's Lashon Yachid. Each person, the whole thing is for me. That's the way Yid has to do Al-Shech HaKadosh. We were zeichet to all this. Me. Not we. Me. Shira Lashem. Not no Shira. We. I'm the big guy around here. Al-Shech. You think Al-Shech didn't learn his Labotka? I'm busy all day, I'm saying I'm great. Shira, I will sing! Only me! I don't care about a guy next to me. Oh, no. Me! Ich! Gaiva, let's go, don't be scared. You're better than all these guys. Everyone's afraid. Scary people out there. Till today I get scared from different people. Many years ago, I went to a chasana. Many years ago. They had a special ticket to Chile. And I went to that chasana. And I knew the Mechudim. The Mechudim was one of the best names. He had it all. Rosh Hashiva, this and that. His family, were they gold. It's a true story. Slight changes. So, and this is a true story. I saw it with my own eyes. You gotta listen to it. I come to the chasana, and there, the Mechudim, he was famous, his kids, Tzaddik and the whole family, Kodesh Kadoshim, and he did a shit, and he himself told me, I got myself, I'm a Mechudim, the whole world knows. I struck it rich. Now this is a true story. As soon as I came to the chasana, on the spot, the Mechudim runs over to me. Who are you? They all know me, by the way. We know you. Mendel, Mendel, you're Mendel. So, this wasn't in Lakewood, you know. Lakewood, all right. We hope maybe we'll reach some of the guys. But this is all right in your huppets. And he knows me. Mendel comes right over to me, middle of his daughter's son. Where is the chasana? And I was scared of him. Before I walked in, I was petrified. You know, I'm not the type to get scared these days. You know, me? I'm better than everybody. With all my hard work, proving I'm the best guy in the world. And whenever I've done this, coming to crowds and you're scared, you're better than all those Michigan, you're better than these guys. I have to go through worse stuff. I'm just better. Rachmanis on them. Be nice to them. You know. But I'm the real guy. Yeah, you may have to do that. It's not a joke. You may have to do that for a long time until you feel you're worth something. And then you got to do pratim too. Then go over to the scary guy. Shamalech Mazel to make him feel good. He needs you just like you. He's scared of you because you're so quiet. He thinks, who knows, he's looking, what is he thinking of? He looks like he's a thought out man, not like me. I'm one of these, you know, tzeflegena types that doesn't know what he's doing exactly. He looks more thought out. And you are looking at him and I hope he doesn't notice that I'm depressed. You hear what I said? I'm telling you, dvarim amitiyim. That's not what's going on. Everywhere. All over the world. They're all, listen to this guy. He has one of those deep voices. He's one of those. He knows everything. I mean, he's a personality. He's an important person. You see just the way a guy talks. The guy just lost every penny. And he's going around begging. Maybe someone could help me. The guy with the big voice who looks like, you know, he owns the world, you know. Maybe you could give him $1. He's never the bits. You think I'm joking? This happens all day. Everyone's afraid of everybody. Everyone's scared of everybody. What do you do with him? So, anyways, I was even scared of that because the family, I adore their family. It's very chashuv, a family. They're really, really, really chashuv. Not just, you know, have your shemaim, no. You can eat the mamish peaches. And that's the mechutim that they're raving over. So I was already somewhat intimidated. This is a true story. It happened 10 years ago in Chile. When they sent me a free ticket to come there because they wanted me to the chasana very much. I should stand on my head and spit nickels. Anyway, so this, I promise, is a true story. The guy, that mechutim that they were, and I was like, as soon as I walked in, that's the one they're all talking. Just before I came in, they gave me by the way, they didn't stop doing shit. This time, they lucked out. Cream of Klal Yisrael. The cream of Klal Yisrael picks himself up and he's got a nice beard too, and he got a smile. I look at him, he's one of those real happy guys. From, you can tell, and he's normal, he's got it all. You know, I saw the guy. Yes, and he comes over to me. I promise you it's a true story. You're Yehуда Mendel. I says, yeah, you know me? Yeah, we all know you. Mendel, I have to speak to you. What's the matter? I'm ready to jump off the roof. I promise it's a true story. I'm the guy, he came to me, and I says, can you hold it till after the chasana? you hold it, let them get married first. And he mama says, maybe you call me on the phone. It's the middle of a chasana here. The guy was so desperate. This is the mechutim that everyone's saying, Kizeh le'ei v'kadesh. This is the real thing. We finally got, with learning and chesed and your shemayim and midos, and everyone gets along and everyone's happy. And he told me why. I'm not going to say it in public. If anybody wants to hear privately, I'll tell you what it was. He has an issue. I admit. I mean, I've seen plenty worse. I mean, he thinks he knows what's going on in the world. Oh, I mean, this much I'll say: everyone's healthy. That's plenty good. They are healthy. All right, that's bad. That much I'll give away. But he has an issue. To kill a horse, I can see that. Especially if you don't learn Musa. If you learn Musa, oh, different. What issue? Who? You learn Novandic Musa? What are you worried? You're worried about your covenant as usual. That's your problem. Learn Musa. Got some Messiahs, it's great. But what am I going to do? He'll start crying to you. Every day you start crying. You know why you're crying? Because the people around you have taught you for that you're supposed to cry. And you go along and they have a point. They may have spiritual reasons for doing that. They have good reasons. And you're supposed to feel bad about boom, 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 boom. But in a very different world, what are you crying? Come on, before this happened, you weren't... You know, a lot of people tell me, no, this made me... I used to be... Oh, he used to be everything... Just since his son, boom, or his daughter, boom, or his shviga, boom, 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 or his wife, since that day, he's not the same. So blame it on the matzah. This I heard. He just asked me today again, did you say it? I wrote it, and he saw it. It's in this. Rabbi said, take. My bטחון weeklies, they came out late. Can you give them out? Spread them out if you could. Take as many as you feel and get them out. This is last week's, but it's still good. It's great stuff. I got to tell you what I quoted this guy. Rabbi Avram Shmulevitz said this. Rabbi Avram Shmulevitz's shir, he's one of the youngest sons of Reb Chaim Shmulevitz. He said that his father said, a bacha came over to him. He says, how you doing? Chavru says, no good. My roommate, can't sleep on the food, and the shear I don't really understand. He started kvetching all about everything. There's a true story. I heard it, the one who heard it from Avram Shmulevitz told it over in a shear. I don't know, he told this to this younger man who went through a shear. And he said, my father told me a ma'aser. Chaim Shmulevitz says, Bacha comes over. This is not going good. That's not going good. That's not going good. That's not going good. I've had enough. I can't deal with it. You know what he said? Chaim told him, no way. Because you are beteva. Hey, come inside. Because you are beteva, such a type that everything, you're a piece of negativism. Therefore, this is no good, that's no good. That's spitz Novandik. Mamish Novandik. That's real. He was an angel called the Alta from Novandik. All these depressive guys have a predisposition to being depressed, but now we got an excuse. Now, sure you got to be depressed because now your child, your wife, and how dare they, or how much pain and how much this. Now, for sure it's legal. Anybody would cry for such a mice. If her brother-in-law would treat you like this, or if a sister or a brother or this, or if such at the hospital and this, or then for sure they're all crying all over, and that's normal. And everybody, that's, what are you, Meshuggah over? Yeah. Reb Chaim Shmulevitz had Novandik blood. He was an angel called the Alta for Novandik. He told his fellow, but the Chavrus is really no good. And the roommate's really, and this is really, and that's really, and my wife is, whatever. Whatever went wrong, which was everything in this guy, he said, by you are full of negativism, and now you've got a great excuse. Everything's going wrong. That's Reb Chaim Shmulevitz. I heard this in the Novandik plenty of times. You have a predisposition. Don't blame, only then everything. There is such a thing of improving a situation. But don't bet on it. Novandik, you know what Reb Gersh used to do? This is not for the public. Anybody was getting engaged and he found out suddenly there's something wrong with that shidduch. Guess what Reb Gersh did? He pushed it. No! Go through with it. What's the difference with you, man? I found the guy, that's the way Reb Gersh was a little bit high, you know.
But there's a point. I heard the same thing. One of the biggest Ramatisyo held from this therapist, a big Ben Torah, from the biggest therapists in America, from the biggest names. Ramatisyo used to send people to him. He told this to me himself. He says, it doesn't matter who you marry. He told this to me. This is a therapist, not Novandik. The therapist you want, I'll tell you probably who, I don't know, he probably doesn't mind. I could say a Rabbah. Well, it was a big Ben Torah, big tzaddik, Reb Natisyo, always sent people to that person. And he's got people under him. He's from the biggest in the world today. He's all over the place. He told it to me. Doesn't matter who you marry. Cut it out. But she doesn't. She's so like this, and she's so like that. Or he is. Why did I marry this guy? And you know what he does? He doesn't understand the emotional needs. He doesn't have the emotional needs. Now, I'm not making jokes out of things that are, there is a makom for things like this, and sometimes you can take care of them. My world is not too much into that. I mean, I used to have emotional needs until the Navaris got a hold of me. And they taught me the only need you have is to break those silly mitos. And all my emotional needs evaporated. I promise you, that's what's going to happen. I have a friend of mine who had terrible, okay, you ready? He was told from the biggest Gedolei Yisrael Mamish. Okay, I'm not going to say his name. Picture in the last door, Chavetz Chaim, Reb Chaim Oizer, the Ger Rebbe Vermont. Picture the biggest. He is the very next door, way before. I think none of you could have even seen him. He was told by that person, you don't have an Ezer. It's not a shidduch. You don't have an Ezer. Now, he didn't want to take the hint. It's time let's get out of this. But he wasn't divorce material. Some people, it's not happening. Besides that, he was told by a runner-up, when he was nifta, I'm talking about brand name, the whole Klal Yisrael heard of him. Picture someone like Reb Nosson, like the biggest, like Reb Baron, like Reb Nosson, the biggest people in Klal Yisrael, told him, I know what you're going through. There are other people who could deal with a wife like this, but you're not made out of that material. You can't handle it. It's not for you. Some of these guys don't care. They're cool, but you're different. The guy came crying to me. I'm stuck with this lady. And there's no way. A therapist already told him, nobody home. Talking, the wall. That's what you married. There's nobody home. He went to Novandik. He went to one of my favorites. And as soon as he told him his problem, he jumped up. You're so lucky. You can't steigen. You can grow. What's with you? You got a gold mine. And he meant it. And in his own life, he lives like that. This Novandik. He lives like, he's in a different world. We're here to break meters. What do you type, The guy is the happiest married person you ever met. You hear this? Thanks to Novandik. Because they're not into that whole, she's nice, she's not nice, who cares? But everyone else has a nice, I've heard people tell this to me. But everyone else is killing you. You know what's going on with everyone else? Do you know what's going on? This is ridiculous. I told you the story, the guy ready to jump off the roof. He's one of those everyone else's ready to jump. You know what's going on with everyone else. Mind your own business. Don't look at anyone. Put on those blinders. Stick to yourself. I got it all. I got a nice Nisayan too. So what? Work on your midos. You were born for that. Sefer and Kas. It's enough. But she's really impossible. So what? You just work in your Kas. I have witnessed Novandik. I witnessed a Novandik who was told before he got married, you marry her, you're going to get divorced 1, 2, 3. Everybody told him she was divorced. I was in his house. She adored him and loved him to pieces. I was there as he complimented her food, and she was crazy over there. I saw it. I saw her nice. She looked fine. And I was in another one's house where she was one of those. And she was young. And she let him have it. He was just laughing, It was just fine, Didn't care. He was complimenting her too. They were both complimenting. Wonderful. He mamish didn't care. He was like laughing. And she got him for this and got him for that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. I got to improve. You know what they do today? This is not compatible. This is not, the relationship needs, they don't really have a communication skills. You got to get the skills. Now look, listen to me. There are people that this is not for you. There are people who go to therapists, learn how to do certain things, and they improve. Chas v'chalila. You can do that and live happily ever after. You can correct. Rabbi Yaakov Kamenetsky told me, that's all. There are people who are helped by therapists. And those days, there was no pasha to therapist. Rabbi Miller did not like them. Shmuel Birnbaum did not like them. A lot of big people were fire. Chaim Mordechai Weinkrantz did not like them. And these people were involved in the klal. They didn't like them. Shlomo Gissinger told me he doesn't like them. And that's already these days. He was very, not because something we saw. What did this guy do? He taught the guy how to hate his wife, and he did a good job. And you're right, we got to kill her, and he was taking. So, okay, but there are people who are helped by them. Oh, yes. There are people who should go to them, and it'll help them, and it's a mitzvah to go. The only thing is, I am very stark. Don't rely on them. It's not fair to them. You don't rely on the human being. Leave him alone. For being an Avodah Zarah, Daniel ran away after they started worshiping him. Because you're in trouble if they start worshiping you. It's not healthy to be worshipped. Don't worship me. Before you go, daven. I know a guy used to go to a therapist. He got nowhere until he started davening. You're my therapist. Make him do the right thing. From that day on, the therapist was on the mark all the time. That's my good list. Anyway, how do I get into this? So, who? That's right. Marry a closed esrog box. Don't be so disposed. Work on your meados. Who cares? Who cares? This guy told me, now listen to this one. I spoke to a guy who is a malach in not getting angry. It ain't happening. Two guys, Reuben and Shimon, and they know each other. And Shimon told me about Reuben. Reuben is cool as could be. And Shimon's burning. I'm always exploding. And this guy, I see the way he deals with his wife. And it's such a pleasure. The way this guy's such a mensch. And I just don't have it in me. I just don't think my father was an angry type. And I can't help it. Reuben told this to me. I'm changing things a little bit. Reuben and Shimon are fictitious. That's official. But that there is a Reuven that's talking about a Shimon like this, that's for sure true. And wait till I tell you what Shimon has to say. Now, Reuven is crazy jealous of Shimon. He's a mensch. I'm always exploding. And it's on his head 24/7. My temper. He comes to me and cries, let's try this, let's try that. I can't. And his jealousy of, now listen closely. This Reuven is very careful when he watches his eyes. He's good at it. He doesn't even chop what a blessing he has. He has no issues. Kamat, like other people do. He's way ahead of everybody. That's where his nature, I don't know where it's coming from. He wants work done at a Zayda work. Someone daven, he walks around, he automatically looks away. He's a tzaddik. Reuven, who's burning with jealousy over Shimon's kas level. Now comes Shimon, who is, unfortunately, smooth, sweet, never gets angry. His wife loves him. He's got issues. He can't watch himself. And he's watching Ruvain. That's an elachayit. Look at me, the bum. I promise you, Rabbi Say, in Navarik, they taught this to me. The guy, everybody's got an issue that you don't know about. And you're busy. He's got something you don't know about. Everybody. And you're talking about it, and then you're comparing yourself with all these other people. Remember, everybody has a burning issue. Now, listen to this. I remember once, one of my relatives telling me about the children. Malki, I have no trouble with Malki. I love her. Her daughter. But my husband, Malki, and him. My problem is Gitti. My husband gets alone and says, everybody's got, this is your Makam Amidis. Everybody has a different, you know what the ultimate Novanik says? You see the dog on a leash? He looks like he goes where a long leash, he goes wherever he wants. He can't go wherever he wants. So he hits a certain point. He looks like a big shot. I'm going all over. See the guy, he's got all the good mitos until he hits a certain point. Suddenly he's dead. He can't move. It's just like everyone else. The ultimate Novanik gives a marshal the time of the, what is it called? When you're with the alcohol. No, there was, what is it called? Who? Prohibition. You got to watch with the prohibition. And this guy, the guy comes, and people are coming to see him. And the authorities are coming and arresting people left and right. And this guy says, oh, you want to find out if I have any of that stuff in my house? Come right in. Come right in. Come right in. Come. No. Don't go to him. Come to me. I'm a straight shooter here. And they look at him. This guy, we got an honest guy. Everyone's going like this. And he's like a real friendly guy. He looks like he's an honest person. He's straightforward. We don't have to go sneak. Yes. Come. Search my house. Head to toe. Come on. I'll help you. Yeah. This room. See anything? Nothing. See? Next room. See? Nothing there. See? Upstairs. Boom. See? Now come to the cellar. Come. I'll show you everything. And there's a room right behind him that he's a smart cookie. And he knows how to, come, let's go. And he's always like, oh yes. And he always distracts them into that thing. No, come here. You're going the wrong place. Yeah, this way. That's right. Now, let's go downstairs. Then he comes up again right away. First thing he does is same spot. Tribes in? Well, what do you say? And they smile. They say, we appreciate working with a gentleman like yourself. You are. As soon as they leave, he turns around, opens up. He has tons of it. He's worse than all his friends. He's got alcohol till Shemayim. Barrels and barrels. It's all hidden. So he says the Alta for the Vardik. People play games all their lives, running away from the truth. And they're working all the midos that aren't for them. They're busy working on this and that and that. You have an issue that you don't want to address. Okay, now look, I'm getting everybody depressed. Somebody asked me today, why aren't you more Novanik? You're too much in the Chavis Hamov. Someone just said today. Now you got some Novanik, you want some more? I'm joking. But I will say the following. Our midah, hold from yourself. Don't avoid it. Don't say, I'm too busy working on Anova, on Kina, and Taiva. Hold from yourself. That's our issue that everybody's, Why don't you work on it? Because it's not really true. Why don't you want to work on self-esteem? Yeah, work on self-esteem. I got better things to do. Work on self-esteem. It's not that bad. You're falling apart. You're busy with your jealousy and everything. Anyway, okay. So, it's not, you do whatever works. And let's say my Rebbe once told me you could be doing the wrong thing and it's also going to work. Did you hear that? You could be working the wrong direction. And I've seen it. You could be the craziest, most negative guy in the world, doing everything wrong, and you're going to be Matzliach. Because Hashem will make you, is that something, especially this day and age? we try to do the right things. Don't be so spoiled if you're doing things wrong. Nishkefal. I had a big mifus the other day. I blame it on the Sephardim. Those Sephardim on the best. No Sephardim around? I want to hamper them a little bit. Oh, good. So at least I have somebody that'll appreciate. I have a Sephardi son. Oh, yeah. The cream of the Sephardim is with us. Do you know this guy calls me up? Erev Shabbos, Rabbi Mendel. You said a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I have this baby who is in a coma. And it's over. And you said that baby is going to jump out of bed and start dancing on the roof. Remember? Yeah, I usually say that. That's exactly what happened. That's the second time. So I say he's a Sephardi guy. Maybe he gets credit because the Sephardim, they're the best. But you can give me credit if you want. It's fine. Let's give the Yevis the credit. It's the second time I have such a mice. It was Erev Sukkot or Pesach. I think Sukkot. Erev Sukkot a year ago. The guy called me up about his nephew, a little boy, and I said, "Watch, by Mitzvah Yom Tov, he's gonna jump out of the hospital." The kid was in a no. This kid had a stroke. A 5-year-old little kid, Rahman al-Islam, had a stroke, and I said, "He's gonna be jumping." That's what I said, and Mitzvah Sukkot. The uncle calls me up, Mendel. He's driving his tricycle, and the doctors are going crazy. I try to explain to them it was Mandel's bracha. That part I added. But you understand, Mandel, there's no one like him. But I got up in front of my Tehillah this week, and I said the following. Rabbi say, everybody knows what a tzaddik I am. When anybody comes to Malikud, I always tell them, have you seen the signs? Tzaddik Bali Ir. That's me. Everybody knows. I have a little complaints on the guys who put it out. I was hoping for a little more titles over there. But the ever going at Tzaddik B'tzina Kadisha, okay, minimum. I recommend say Bechula. So that way you're safe. Safe, etc. That way you're safe, because otherwise, it's not me. I don't mean me. I mean covered at Torah. You know that. Yeah, I don't mean me at all. I'm an unav. It's covered at Torah. It's for Torah. I'm l'shem shemayim. I want to get a lot of respect because l'shem shemayim. Anyway, one thing I will tell you about that stuff. Novahardok is held gaiva is much better than covered. Covered means you need everybody. Gaiva means I don't know if I can call myself a rate of covered. That's too low for my books. But they said the rate of covered is a guy that takes off his yarmulke, he's looking for a handout. Give me some covered guys. He needs everybody. Please, do you hold for me? Did you like my speech? Say yes. Did you? The guys outside, they think I'm good too? What about, how many people were there? A lot of people. They all like me. So many people like me. There's less people coming, there's less people like you. Now it's time to get the best. Because my Yom Abriya is that's the most important thing. What do people say or else? What do people say? That's my life. Then now sometimes you need to do that, by the way. Sometimes you might. And sometimes I do it too. But watch out. They're gonna carry you around like a nobody. Because now I'm a gaiva, I do believe it. Gaiva means I'm not waiting to hear your opinions. I know I'm great. I don't need anybody. It's nice to hear, but I don't need, because then what happens when one day they decide we made a mistake? Now we know who you really are. What you did yesterday. Now you're finished. See, if I'm telling people, it's over. Got to watch every move I make. Watch what you're doing. They think you're this, but my Rebbe told me, he doesn't hold from my having seen them, by the way. If everybody would pick themselves up one day and say, we got a better guy than you, my Rebbe would say, Mendel, just lost on my seat. I'm not joking. I'm not dafke asking for that. But, what? Rebbe.
Everybody told me he doesn't like this Hasidim, he doesn't like it. Especially they all kiss me over the head and give me nothing. Joking. That's all right, we'll live with it. It's not so pashut. I don't think it doesn't get the end. Not so healthy. Seriously. It's good to make it move a little, but otherwise, I've witnessed people who are honored at dinners for doing great things. I saw my own eyes. The day after, they were animals. The COVID is not healthy. They so watch what the wife has to go through with this maniac, who's right now he thinks, oh, you're talking to, they saw me honored me yesterday. Now you can't say nothing to me. I'm in charge around here. Now, some people might need that because she's the boss until that happens. It might be worth it sometimes. But I myself witnessed 2 young Goliath the day after they were honored. You can tell something's not good. Not so pushy. It ain't so healthy, the whole world. Rabbi Yisrael Maya said he can't see them take a man and everyone's raving of him. By the way, it's not so. Reb Scheinberg did hold. The Meisters need it. You do l'shem shemayim. I know somebody, they were honoring him and his wife. And what? It's what? It's a busha. They want Sister Baron. They wanted to honor him. He said, please, just that bazillion don't give me. Rabban cut me. Just don't give me that bazillion. That's what he said. That's a push at that stuff. I know a guy, he went to a Rav. All the Meisters are going to kill me for this. Please don't listen to me. But it's good to hear. He went to him and his wife. They were going to honor. It's the truth. He said, what should we do? The Rav says, look, you can do it, but say Gans Tillim. He said, I don't want to get involved. By the way, I know hundreds of people. They're all fine. It's fine. Enjoy the covet also. Don't listen to me so much. Don't think the Bardig is, okay, shit. But he so Maya couldn't stomach it. How can you do that? What are you doing? He's a great guy. They're all talking about him. It won't kill you to have a certain distaste for the whole concept. Or stam, the way we talk. That matzuyin. What about you? Anytime somebody raves about anybody, I always challenge them. What about you? I hold you bigger than him. Come on. How do you compare me to him? I said, no. I ain't part of the Torah. There's a tzad, you're better, you know that? You know what the Gemara says? My chazal, if someday the guy give you a gun, you shoot the Gadol Adar. No, the Gadol Adar wants to shoot you, chas v'sholom. They tell the Gadol Adar, you don't shoot this yid, we're going to shoot you. The Gadol Adar has to say, Yehari Val Yava, go shoot me. Why? Because who says the Gadol Adar is better than you? It's a Gemara. Nobody knows nothing about anybody. You know the Shemer Munim says, you have to suspect that you're the man that's holding up the whole world. The Shemer, he wasn't for Slabotka. In his Sefer, Tyrus HaKodesh, he said, suspect that you're the man that's holding up everybody. No? Why does anybody do that? Suspect. I suspect very much that in fact, at this point, I'm already my suspicions have Taka beginning to believe that's Taka Gavaldik. I've chazed so many times my milas. For sure, while I chazed my milas, I'm busy putting down everyone else. That's a Tanai couple. I don't just lift myself up. I put everyone else down. Did you hear what I'm doing? I told you my raya, Reb Aaron Feldman himself, who doesn't like to be, as I said, this you can say my name, I hold the belt. Aaron HaKayin was told by the Abish themselves. The Abish knew how to be mechanach people. When Aaron HaChalishas Das, he said, Shelcha Gedel Mishalem, you're better than everyone else. No. What happened to Leishas HaMegdullah Sachim? He's supposed to be happy with it. Some people, the whole life being, you have to be happy with it. Oh, what about being happy with me? What are you wasting your energy on another Gadol book? Read all the Gadol books. No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's plenty good, but I would write a book about myself. And I'd steig. This, I'll tell you honestly. You can take it or leave it. I do this. I know the story that Reb Aaron cried. I heard it from him himself. Reb Aaron cried when he realized he didn't have to much so much in learning with that person. He was a star from day one. He cried. Did you hear that?
He cried. So I say, if Baron could cry that he wasn't the Nebuch right here, a lot of feel good. And whenever I read a lot of stories of tzaddikim. As soon as I read the youth, now Rabbi say, watch what you're doing. I really want to be careful with this, because respect for Gedolei Yisrael, I want to give any hatzlach I have, is because I did have a lot of respect, enough to run after them, a lot. I recommend run after those Gedolim and respect them, those Shemayim and your parents. There's no end to that stuff. But you gotta have two sides to you. Sometimes you don't chop how that's drowning you. Your respect is out of hand. That's all you think about. Ease. Now, what was I saying? Who? You read. Soon as there was a kid, everybody saw this is the future Gadol Hador. I smile. I see. I'm way ahead of him. What do you think? No, don't. Use your head. Who's bigger? What do you think? Alomli Kra Svarahu. You know, Chazal are very big in the Svara. You know, there's Rabbeinu Nissim Gain. He says, I think he brings it, in Slobodka used to talk about this a lot, Avram Grodzinski. You know that the Syrians, Damascus is going to get it someday, because they tortured their prisoners. Amos, it's a pasuk at the beginning of Amos. Shayos Amos. That says, where are they going to get it? Because they tortured, it's known till today. Syrians? The Syrians, what they do, I know a guy who was there. It's not Pasha. The Syrians are known. Why? It's not in the Sheva Mrs. B'nai Noach. Where does it say you can't torture prisoners? Geneva Conference. No, you're not supposed to. That's new stuff. But where does it say in Sheva Mrs.? It doesn't say anything about it. Says Reb Nissim Gain, you have brains? You don't understand it's wrong? You gotta understand. No, don't tell me it doesn't say anywhere. Svara! Seichel! Use your seichel! Who's bigger? The man that, when he was born, they loved him and said he's the future Gadol, and then he sits and learns by Spanish, they'll love him and kiss him and hug him, a warm, loving mother and father, everything's going beautiful. Or me. I don't mean me. I was also a future Gadol. I'm also one of the great guys. I'm just making believe. What's going to be with our son? Then I have to watch this is not true. I have to watch my parents kill each other. Who's going to smack me up first? I got first. I'm joking. But whatever happened, people have hard times in class or at home or with the brother, the sister, or all of the above. These people are, use your seichel. Aren't they better? So what if the guy's going around, if I have beads, and I have an earring here, long hair, and I come to shul with sandals, with smelly feet from outside, because I haven't quite learned, you don't do that. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't understand. Okay, now look, I'm not telling anybody to become a Toita B'Shugit. It's no mitzvah. It's no mitzvah. But you don't make away with such a person. Don't make jokes out of him. He's doing the best he can. You think he's a joke in the world of truth? All right, I'm not saying I'm getting extreme. But look, you have to, if it makes you feel better, for no other reason, forget about the truth. If it makes you feel better to build yourself up, you're mechuyev to do it. I have a picture here of me together with, and I look good. I came out looking like the smart guy. My hand was like this. I look like one of these thought out, something I never do. I don't think too much. I just have a thing, and my hand is like this, and I'm on my best smile for a change. They finally got me to smile, and I smile a little bit, not too much. And I came out good, and I'm standing right next to, that's not my person, but it's a long beard, famous person. So what do you think I do with it? It makes me feel good. It's all over the place. You come to my house, you'll bump into him. I'm joking. But my Rebbe told me that if it makes you feel good, you do it. It makes you feel good. Hang it up. Blow it up. Until instead of blowing up your Rebbe, maybe you should do that. Some people have a lot of hatzlacha. I did those type of things. Not his picture so much, but Stam, I was into him. But if it makes you happy, blow yourself up. You make a private room and put on the door, big letters, have it done special. Rosh Shel Kol B'nei HaGoyla. Don't write Rashke Bahag. No. Spell it out. Rosh Shel Kol B'nei HaGoyla inside. No appointments available for the next 10 years. And then a little smaller picture of you. Then come inside and have a big blown up picture of you. You know, and beautiful you look like, and have a picture of everyone else looking like ants next to you. And you're blown up, and you're sitting like this, looking down at all the ants. Nice to know you. Do you know that Rabbi Yerucham says in so many words that that's what you have to do? Rabbi Yerucham Lubavitch, that's not Slobodka. He said it. He said the guy who's working on holding for himself has to hold he's better than the whole world. You know that? In Parshas Noach, take a look. In Das Torah, Parshas Noach, he go and this, goes Lebedik. For our door, he says just like the Onav has to feel everyone's better than me, the guy who's working, nobody's as good as I am. Forget it. Okay, anyway. So, I do my share in that stuff. I work hard. I know, in the next world, what am I worth? Plenty. What do you mean, what am I worth? Don't talk like that. You know the way everybody talks. Who am I? You ever hear that? I never do that. Ever. Because you're going to lie and so you call yourself a nobody? You should dvar sheker tirchak. I would never say I'm a nobody. Dvar sheker tirchak. I'm not a nobody. I'm great. Says the truth. Now I want to tell you something. I once spoke in public, and I got up in front of hundreds of people, and I said like this. They once asked somebody to speak, and he got up and he said, Rabbi Sai, I'm not really ready to speak. As soon as he said that, someone got up in the crowd and said, we all agree, please sit down. I made it up. It's a joke. And then later I found that it was true. And they say the one who said, Einachinami was the brisker. I'll tell you who it was privately. I'm not Roy brisker. Thought for a minute. He says, Einachinami. Don't start up with the brisker. Anyway, he said, no. Anyway, so okay. So now, I told my Chevra this week, it's time for a change. I'm not going to change so fast, but it's time for Ayin Tov. Leiv shesamach b'gdulas achiv. I for sure hold there's nothing better than my stuff. Nothing near it. Nothing comes that was ever printed since, the Altamon Kel Mashver was a Munkash Chassid. I bought him a whole set of all the Mussar. He loved all the Mussar stuff, of the Altamon Kelm especially. He liked the way the Altamon Kelm used to praise his own stuff. He says, this vort is kafter v'ferach. This vort is beautiful on his own stuff. And he says, Chalila to say, people were criticizing him. Chalila on my Talmud Torah of Kelm is Kodesh Gedor, where he builds up. He loved his own stuff. This stuff is Torah, Moshe, Sinai. And my Shver loved the way he praised his own stuff. Shver like that. Anyway, I'm into that. So I'm very into that stuff. But I decided, Higiyazman, I've got to pick somebody who is in my league, who does similar stuff that I do. Should I tell you this? This guy used to read me 24/7. He told me I saved his life. His whole family turned around. I hope he's not listening. Comes over to me, and he named someone else who also puts this type of stuff. And for years, Mendel, suddenly one day, he says, I love a certain name. He is so good. He just told me again recently. He's such a tzaddik. I like him.
he's a special tzaddik. And he starts going, and I sit and listen. That's so nice. I'm so happy for you. Now, I never said anything to the guy. It may have been more like, you remember your old friend. I don't know if it's so, but it's fine. But I would like to spend time going to the enemy, or the potential enemy, and spending time with him and enjoying. We put out another one. You guys, and telling everybody how I love his stuff. Novanik. Why do I need that? I need a change. I'm already bored of me. I know me already. I know how great I am. You ever sit down to a meal, meat, potatoes, okay, Sunday chicken, Monday steak. You need a change. Tuesday's menu, let's try some meatballs with this type of stuff on top. Now, we already had fries. Let's try baked potatoes. Let's try fresh salad with the Caesar. Or let's get blue Jello. Let's have variety. I believe in variety in Yiddishkeit. The Baal Shem HaKadosh says that the Eibishter wants you to serve him in many different ways. Sometimes like this, you may not like it. But I want to steig in this and that. And the Eibishter, you got to say, you have no choice. Now you got to be busy. And the Eibishter wants changes. Now let's try. So I need a change. So if you're going to start hearing me for the next 2 years talking about someone else and not me, you'll know it's because I needed a change. But I'm not so sure. I would do it to a certain degree, but I wouldn't advise my friends to do it. Not so fast. No, sir. When Aaron had Chalishas Hadas, and the Eibishter told him, you're bigger than everyone else, all the Nesiim, why didn't he tell him, Aaron? Come on, some variety. You could be happy with 11 different Nesiim and get schar like crazy. No, he said, you're better than everybody. The Eibishter he knows how to be mechanech people. Aaron HaKohen, he speaks like that too. Aaron HaKohen, the biggest Balmidas in the world. And he tells them, you're better than everyone else. Aaron HaKohen had to hear that. Because Aaron had Chalishas Hadas. And our Olam is Becheskas Chalishas Hadas. I know the Olam. Chazaka. Cheskas Chalishas Hadas. Everybody all over. Guess who are the worst cases? The guys who, the guy who just got see the Kedushin. Watch, I told you what happened at the Chasana? No? They all suffer. The whole world's suffering. The ladies, the men and the ladies have their own problems. My house is neat. I gotten you. Now she's had nachas. Everyone else is jealous of her nachas, but her house is in shambles. And all she knows is, I know, my children are good, but I'm such a slob, and my husband, he's a yucky, or my neighbor, I once had a woman come to me in the middle of my Purim Suda, 2 or 3 years ago. Rabbi Mendel, you saved my life when you said you're allowed to be messy. Bless this mess. Get a big sign. Bless this mess. So you're messy. So it doesn't mean you have to look to be like that. Some people can't help it. Bug off. Everybody, people, it's all covered in a different form. It's the house. By some people, it's the house. House, 24/7, the house. No, and the kids are scared of the mother, and everyone's scared. Watch out. There are certain types that are like that. They're all over the place, these type of ladies. Everybody has their own type of Yetzirah. You better watch it. And there's other ladies that, if they're not the talk of the town, if they're not the loudmouth among their friends, I'm too shy. I don't fit in, Yeah, I want to tell you something about being shy. I was told by Rabbi Kreiser and a friend, talking about boys, forget about girls. Girls, coach game. Nothing wrong with being shy. Nothing wrong with being shy. I'm going to war against this whole, you got to be outgoing, a big mouth. Everybody's jealous of the loud mouth.
I want to tell you something. You can be namoritz the rice, but if you have a big mouth, all the shasas are bottled to you. You walk in, the quiet types. They just finished shas yesterday. They're tzaddik and gurim, but you got a big mouth. They're all in awe because everybody respects. Especially, Rabbi Yosef Leib tells us, says, you want to make it in this world? Don't be afraid of people. The less you're afraid, the more he's actually not afraid of people. They can't get over you. They think you're a malach. It's not a bad thing to do, by the way. I hold from it, stamazay, not to be afraid. I try to work on it. Because Avodah Zarah, in Novandig, they said, you're afraid of people. It's no good. But people are in awe. But ladies, I'm too shy. I don't want to tell you myself, but I heard this from one of my close female relatives. She was once, they used to get together, all the ladies, and there was one loudmouth over there that all the ladies were in awe of she was a microphone, and she knew everything, more than everyone else. The other ones used to sit and, yes, yes. And years went by. They all had nachas from the kids except for the loudmouth, So you're not a loudmouth. You know the Chafetz Chaim's mother? Then you schmooze around with the ladies. She's busy with her tillim. Now, watch what you're doing, ladies. Not everybody. But it's a fact. It's good to know. She was busy saying tillim. He once showed the tillim of his mother, and it was ripped through. He says that's where the Chafetz Chaim came from, when the other ladies were talking. You know what happened to that kid? They all went off the derech. In that area, the Litvakis, Chafetz Chaim, his mother was busy saying tillim. So maybe they looked at her a little funny, but look what became of it. Anyway, I spoke enough. It's 9 o'clock. It's a pleasure talking to the Elam. Anybody want l'chaim tu b'shvat, Rabbi Sai Chamisha Asa b'shvat, and we should have a happy, sweet New Year, Rosh Hashanah Li'Lanos, and we'll all buy an esrig. We should mispal a good esrig. I mispal that I should be a real esrig. That's what I would like. I want to be good Torah, good. What is, I'm already there. The shaila is how much better. It's not, I have a challenge. One of my hardest times of the year is Elul. What am I supposed to do tshuva on? What can I do? By the way, you know how many people I told this to? I says, you know what your tshuva is? I told it to be satisfied with what you have. Don't think it's easy. Be steig in sameach bechalkai. Be a carbon pesach. Why can't you have water? Don't, even a little water. I like me. Basoiva. That's Maremes. Be full. Be full. What do you, make yourself full. Sabeinu mutuvecha. If you're full with the goodness going on, you're right. Then samcheni b'shuasecha. Then you'll get Yeshuas also. Maybe she sees a satisfied customer. If so many people run to me, I work so hard on Bטחון, nothing can happen, work so hard on Bטחon. You know why? Because Maybe she sees the way you're acting now. You have no satisfaction for your matzah. You have you can't be civil anything that doesn't go your way. It kills you. So when he does give you what you want, you're going to find other reasons to go bananas. You have to have a certain satisfaction in the present. And then you get a better chance to get a better future. And every hitter of Bטחון that you have, I advise people, it works like wonders. I just got myself $4,000. The guy calls me up, Mendel, $4,000 for Bטחון weeklies. I say, just one thing, Mendel. I heard you speak, and you said something over there. You said that you never collect money, which is true, from Gvir. And the other day you saw a Gvir in the base medrash, and he would give you 1,000, and you didn't go over to him, and you went straight to Hashem. I go to Hashem. Just one thing I ask you, if you see a base medrash, say hello to me. That's it. I says, I'm doing tshuva right away. Anyway, but I got myself